Good morning children. Today we are going to start a new chapter, chapter 6, Combustion and Flame.
Combustion and flame. In this chapter we will study combustion, types of combustion, ignition temperature, flame and fuels. Burning of a substance in the presence of air is known as combustion. When a substance is burnt, it produces carbon dioxide and energy in the form of heat. Coal, that is carbon plus oxygen, gives carbon dioxide gas and heat. Some materials are combustible while some are non-combustible. The materials which burn readily are known as combustible materials. For example, paper, wood, kerosene, diesel, petrol, straw, etc. The materials which do not burn readily are known as non-combustible materials. For example, glass, metals, ceramics, etc. Let us do an activity to demonstrate the process of combustion. Take a magnesium ribbon and light it. After some time, you will observe that magnesium burns with a bright white light to form magnesium oxide, emitting heat and light. Now hold a piece of charcoal using a pair of tongs and bring it near the burner. You will observe that the coal burns in air to produce carbon dioxide, heat and light. Thus in combustion, combustible materials burn to produce heat and light. Characteristics of a good fuel. A good fuel is one that has low ignition temperature, easily available, it has high calorific value and is cheap and easy to transport. It does not cause pollution or leave any unwanted residue upon burning. Let us do an activity to demonstrate combustibility and non-combustibility of materials. Take some materials such as straw, matchstick, kerosene oil, paper, iron nails, stone pieces and glass. Try to burn each of these materials one by one and observe. You will observe that straw, matchsticks, kerosene oil and paper catch fire easily, while iron nail, stone pieces and glass do not catch fire. By this activity, we can conclude that straw, matchsticks, kerosene oil and paper are combustible materials, while iron nails, stone pieces and glass are non-combustible materials. Conditions required for combustion. Presence of a combustible substance, the attainment of the correct temperature for ignition or ignition temperature, presence of a supporter of combustion such as oxygen. Let us do an activity to demonstrate conditions required for combustion. Take a lighted candle and fix it on a table. Put a glass chimney over the candle and rest it on a few wooden blocks in such a way that air can enter the chimney. Observe the flame. You will observe that the candle burns freely. Now remove the wooden block and let the chimney rest on the table and observe. You will notice that when air does not enter the chimney from below, the flame flickers and produces smoke. Finally, put a glass plate over the chimney and watch the flame again. You will observe that flame finally gets extinguished because air is not available. By this activity, we can conclude that oxygen present in the air is necessary for the process of combustion. Ignition temperature. Take a piece of paper and a piece of wood and try to burn each of them with the help of a matchstick. You will observe that the piece of paper catches fire easily while wood does not catch fire. Now pour some kerosene oil on the wood and burn it. You will observe that this time the wood catches fire easily. By this activity, we can conclude that different materials catch fire at different temperature. Thus, the minimum temperature at which a combustible substance catches fire is called its ignition temperature. Let us do an activity to demonstrate the ignition temperature of materials. Make 2 paper cups by folding a sheet of paper. Fill 50 ml of water in one of the cups. Now heat both the cups separately with a candle. After some time, you will observe that the empty paper cup burns quickly while the paper cup containing water does not burn. But it becomes hot because the water in the cup absorbs the heat and distributes it all over the paper that holds the water. So, in the presence of water, paper does not attain its ignition temperature. Hence, it does not burn. By this activity, we can conclude that substances having very low ignition temperature can catch fire easily and are therefore called inflammable substances. How do we control fire? You might have seen or heard of fire breaking out in homes, shops and factories. You might have seen a fire brigade also. Fire brigade pours water on the fire. Water cools the combustible material so that its temperature is brought below its ignition temperature. This prevents the fire from spreading. Water vapors also surround the combustible material, helping in cutting off the supply of air, so the fire is extinguished. As we know, there are 3 essential requirements for igniting fire: fuel, air and heat. Fire can be controlled by removing one or more of these requirements. The most common fire extinguisher is water. But water works only when things like wood and paper are on fire. If an electrical equipment is on fire, water may conduct electricity and harm these trying to douse the fire. Water is also not suitable for fires involving oil and petrol. For fires involving electrical equipments and inflammable materials like petrol, carbon dioxide, that is CO2, is the best extinguisher. CO2, being heavier than oxygen, covers the fire like a blanket. Since the contact between the fuel and oxygen is cut off, the fire is controlled. The added advantage of CO2 is that in most cases it does not harm the electrical equipment. It can be stored at high pressure as a liquid in cylinders. When released from the cylinder, carbon dioxide expands enormously in volume and cools down. So it not only forms a blanket around the fire but also brings down the temperature on the fuel.